So Chris Eubank Jr. beats and pretty much dominates Liam Williams in an okay fight, a decent fight. And in my prediction video, I said that this will be a close fight, like a 7 rounds to 5, 8 rounds to 4 type of fight. And I predicted Eubank to win. So I was right with my prediction in terms of who I thought would win, because Eubank did win the fight. However, I thought the fight would be closer than it actually was. This fight wasn't that close. Like, I didn't envisage that there would be 4 knockdowns for Eubank. Eubank knocked Williams down 4 times, which is kind of peculiar because Williams is known to have a decent chin. When he fought Andrade, he got knocked down once with a good 1-2, but after that he never got knocked down again. And he took some hellacious uppercuts and some hellacious big shots. Never got knocked down since that first knockdown in the first round against Andrade. But in the Eubank fight, he was getting knocked down by jabs. By three of the knockdowns came from jabs. One of the knockdowns wasn't actually a knockdown, but referee counted as a knockdown. It should have been counted as a knockdown. But yeah, what was going on with Liam Williams there? Like, did he get knocked out in training camp? Because that can affect your punch resistance when you take punishment in camp. That happened with when Chad Dawson fought Andre Ward. Like, he got knocked out by, I think, Edison Miranda in the camp for, like, when he was training to fight Andre Ward. And that affected his punch resistance for when he fought Ward, as well as the fact that he was cutting a lot of weight and all that. But him getting knocked out in camp didn't help. So did something like that happen to Williams? Or did the Andrade fight take a lot out of him? I suspect that is the latter. Maybe the former as well. Maybe he did take a lot of punishment in camp. I don't know. I don't know what went on behind the scenes. But what I do know is that he did take a lot of punishment in the Andrade fight. And I think that fight took a lot out of him. He was blinking a lot in that fight as well against Andrade. I mean, he took quite a bit of punishment. Even though he did hurt Andrade a couple of times as well, Andrade hit him with a lot of big shots. And I think that fight did take a lot out of him. So I think that affected his punch resistance leading up to this fight. In terms of how Eubank performed, I think he was decent. He started off really, really well, but he kind of plateaued. And one of the commentators said that as well after the fight, that he kind of plateaued. Started off well, but kind of just coasted for the rest of the fight, really. And I definitely agree. It wasn't this amazing or spectacular performance from Eubank, in my opinion, because I think his boxing still needs work. When he was boxing on a back foot, to me, he was giving up a lot of rounds. He wasn't really outboxing Williams. He was just moving around the ring. At points, he was running around the ring as well, in my opinion. At points, he was just running. And he wasn't really landing many shots. He wasn't like outlanding Williams or busting Williams up with a jab or anything like that. Nah. He was just letting Williams come up to him. He was showing good defense. He wasn't getting hit with many clean power shots. But Williams was outboxing him at times, outlanding the jab. He was landing more jabs than him and outboxing him in certain rounds. So I wasn't really impressed with Eubank's boxing in this fight. Some people were, but me personally, I wasn't really impressed because he was getting outboxed in certain rounds. And in certain rounds, he was just moving around the ring, looking pretty, but he wasn't really landing anything. So you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I wasn't that impressed with Eubank's boxing. And I thought I gave a lot of the middle rounds to Williams, but he couldn't really claw back the deficit as a result of because of the knockdowns. The knockdowns really played a big part. 4 knockdowns. And I think in the end, I scored it 8 rounds to 4 to Eubank. But obviously, you include the 4 knockdowns, that leads to an 8-point advantage for Eubank. So, yeah, just onwards and upwards for Eubank now. I guess he's still going to be looking for that Triple G fight. I want to see Eubank against Charlo. I want to see him get a title shot now. He's 32 years old, going on 33 this year, I think. And yeah, I want to see him fight Charlo or Andrade. I don't see him fighting Andrade though. Stylistically, that fight, it's not quite right for him. Charlo, he might have a better chance of beating Charlo. Yeah, I think, than Andrade. But we'll see who he goes on to fight. And in terms of Liam Williams, back to the drawing board. I don't know who he could fight next. But yeah, back to the drawing board for him. And yeah, like, he definitely didn't fight to the level that he's capable of fighting at, I believe. But nothing taken away from Eubank though. Like, he did what he had to do to win. Started off very, very strong. Good timing on his jab and on the back foot. That's how he caught Williams. That's how he knocked him down. And yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But for Eubank now, I want to see him just improve on his boxing skills because I wasn't that impressed with it. I wasn't that impressed with his boxing. He needs to learn how to just outland your opponents on the back foot. It's one thing moving around using natural movement and frustrating your opponent. That's all good, but you win rounds by landing more punches than your opponent. You don't win rounds by moving around the ring and ring generalship. Yeah, I mean that's not the main criteria that gives you rounds. The main criteria that gives you round is landing shots. And a lot of those middle rounds, he wasn't really landing nothing. Or when he was getting outlanded, especially with the jab. Williams was landing more jabs than him and stuff like that. He was getting outboxed in his middle round. So I want to see Eubank improve on that. And at points in this fight, I think he should have been more aggressive. I think he should have been a bit more aggressive in this fight. Gone back to the old Eubank Jr. just a little bit. And I think if he did that, he could have got the stoppage. But hopefully, Eubank learns from this fight and he he fulfills whatever potential he's got left. And he continues to work with his trainer Roy Jones. And yeah, I want to see Eubank in big fights. I heard Billy Joe Saunders said that he wants to fight him. Felix Cash called him out as well. Those are two interesting fights. Conor Benn called him out as well. But the Conor Benn fight, Eubank will destroy Conor Benn. Conor Benn's too small. Coming from welterweight, he's too small. Yeah. So if that fight happens, Eubank destroys him. Felix Cash, interesting fight. Felix Cash is improving. He did beat Denzel Bentley. That's a good domestic scrap. Billy Joe Saunders, another good domestic scrap. So yeah, he's got some options. He's got options, Eubank. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for this video. Hit the like button if you've got this far. Comment in the comment section. And until next time.